Alright guys, good morning, welcome back to the channel. This is Jared at 3C's Recreation. It's a beautiful day here in Western New York, and I'm very excited because this is my very first video of many on the new CForce 1000 Touring. You can see the gray one here, and we got the black one in the background. And of course, this has been a huge seller for us, the C1000 Overland. So many features on that ATV. We've sold a ton of them. But this ATV right here is about to change everything for us. They also came out with this in an 800 Touring. So consider subscribing to our channel if you want more content on this and the 800s. But I have a feeling both of these 1000s are leaving in the next day or two. And I really wanted to get a video on these before they leave. So let's jump into it. So of course I've got some notes and I've tried to read as much as I could about this ATV. But if I miss something in this video, CFMoto has all these stats right on their website. You can jump in and have a look at it. But let's start right in the front. And what I'm excited about, and it's going to be hard to do with one hand, if I unclip this and unclip this here. We have so many people that I think their biggest problem is they overheat their machines, truly. Like, they go to these ride parks, these packed with mud. People don't know how to clean them. They bring them in, like 9 out of 10, it's the radiators are packed with mud. If you guys can't see, you can see all the way through there. There's the light on the back side. If you can't see all the way through your radiator, that means it's plugged. That's my whole spiel on that. So just because the front of it's clean doesn't mean that it's breathing. It's not pulling air through it. So check that out. That is so incredible. The whole radiator is now exposed. So you can take a garden hose with a gentle pressure and just keep going over it. You don't want to bend the fins on that. And let's just compare with the old one. So this is the Overland. There is zero access to this. None of this comes off on the front. We got some pretty big plastic that comes down here in the middle. So, you know, you're really not, and then it's got like this honeycomb looking mesh in there. So that is extremely hard to clean compared to this. Like this is, I took it off in a second. So very excited for my maintenance on this, much easier to get to. It does come with a somewhat, we'll call it a little bumper here in the front. And then they did add on this machine, it's still a synthetic rope, but they added a cool little bumper here, maybe to help with vibration. And the winch hook looks really cool in this. They did a cool job redesigning it. I know it's simple and silly, but it's cool looking. And this is a 3,500 pound winch on this model. If you look at the Overland here, we do have the synthetic rope. There's no rubber donut, we'll call it, to kind of dampen the vibration. And it's got your standard winch hook that we've had for years. So there's a really first comparison right in the front of the vehicle. Look at all the changes that have happened. We'll look down a little bit further here, and it does have the arched A-arms. It's got a plastic front skid plate, and the standard skid plate is your normal thickness. So you can see it here, pretty thin stuff. It does the job. Oh, you can't see that at all, I apologize. There's the standard thickness of the skid plate. The Overland does take the cake on that, right? So steel in the front with a very thick skid plate, still has the arched A-arms. So arched A-arms are still here, still a great feature. The Overland does have the adjustable shocks, compression and preload. And we continued that with the Touring. So I'm trying to pan back over. Rebounds on the bottom, compression's way up on top of the shock. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Yep, there's your compression knob right there. You can turn your clickers. So they did a great job with that. The tire size is the same, but it is different. So this is a 27 by 9 by 14. You can see the tread pattern there. Same exact size, but they've been running this tread now pattern in a couple different machines. Done really well with it. Looks like a Maxxis Bighorn in my mind. So the footwell all seems very similar. The way it steps up on here. This is completely different though. It's more of a rubber handle, so maybe a little bit more vibration dampening. The other one's more just a plastic. It's more of this material, the plastic all the way around. Got some rubber. Gives you some nice grip. And the top of the seat has been redesigned. I kind of think that the overall feel, like the swoosh here, and then the seat is about the same feel. It's, oh shoot, that's not a Touring, this is the Overland. All right, well, if you click the 2-up seat on it, it would look like that 600 Touring. Let me zoom in. So the overall feel of the seat is going to be the same if you added it. So you can see that the gas goes in here on this side, and that's backwards. So this whole machine is flipped. It's so wild. CFMoto flipped everything. So on the Overland, the clutches were on this side. Oil stuff was on the other side. Everything is flipped. So gas is over here on this one. Come toward the back, it does have the brake light that goes all the way across. It's also a running light if we turn the key on. It's a dual exhaust coming out both sides here. They do give you a pin, which is cool, like a hitch pin. So if I'm doing a video in a minute we ride these, if you notice some vibration, it could be this bouncing around. 2-inch receiver. It still has the 3-link rear suspension, so it's got like the trailing arm design coming down from the front. Again, the back shocks are compression and rebound adjustable. So what's kind of cool about this model, well, one bad thing is there's no more rear storage. It's gone. I'll show you that one here in a minute. If I can do this with one hand, I don't know. Here we go. This is your battery access, so check this thing out. Look how easy that is to get to your battery. It's right there. It doesn't get any easier. Keeps it up, keeps it dry, keeps it clean. So easy to maintain this. If you're not going to ride for a couple weeks, you can simply put your tender on there and maintain that. So there's your battery access. It's a pretty cool little spot there. Kind of slide this back on. Again, might take 2 hands, but we're getting it. And then this side of the ATV, here's our clutches. Compared to the old style, this is where our oil compartment stuff was. So really clean. I'm excited for the passenger. I think there's not gonna be anything there for their legs to rub on or vibrate against. You know, like a long day trail riding, you want things, you want comfort. We're thinking long term with it. And then this side, again, there's the front back side of the winch and then just our shock. So I think it's gonna be easy to clean this out. Good protection there. And then look, we have a storage right here. I have not opened this yet. All right, so we do have one little storage bin. So your 1000 Touring, that's all you're getting for storage on this machine. All right, here's our Touring, here's our clutch. As you can see, everything is flipped on this thing. It's on this side of the vehicle. And I'll show you the rear storage on this one. We open here, and we do get, it's not huge. It's like, my hand fits in it, and it's kind of stepping down. So if you put something up here, it's gonna dribble down and probably out. So, yeah, not a huge rear storage on that one. They do give it to you. I will show you, the battery is easy to get to on this one as well though. So I can't say that the battery is any worse to get to on the Overland. If I open this, check that out, it's right there. Very easy to get to it, fuse panel, everything is still mega easy to get to. All right, let's compare the handlebar area. This is where you're really gonna be impressed with the new Touring. So we're sitting on the Overland now. I gotta keep these tags on here, so apologize, they're in the way. We're gonna start here. Horn, override. So if we're in 4-wheel lock, the machine's gonna max out at 22 miles an hour without pushing this in. You hold this in, it'll go over 22 miles an hour. Got our light switch, rocker switch. So we have running, start, kill switch. So those are 3 positions there. Our winch is in and out here. Now this machine does have those fog lights that I mentioned earlier. So on or off for the fog lights. And then keep in mind, and I'm excited to demo this. I'm 6'5", so I've got a bigger hand. I don't think, it doesn't affect me much, but you can see how far out I'm pulling my thumb back to even get to the throttle. And that makes a really big difference when you're trying to go slow speed. You have more control if it's in closer. So we're gonna keep an eye on that when we test drive them. Here's our 4-wheel drive button here, and then our front brake. Now, I do love the front brake being on the same side as the throttle. I'm sorry, this brake is all 4, it's not just the front brake, but it's the handlebar brake. I really, really enjoy the brake being on the same side as the throttle. I always have. Polaris was always the opposite, kind of like the new Touring. The brake is over here on the new Touring. I hate it. I want the brake over here because I can take 1 or 2 fingers, ride the brake, and control the throttle. So if I'm putting it up on a trailer, it's just right there. It's so easy. I can have one hand on the handlebar, controlling both. I just really like it. And then here's the display in the middle. I'm going to turn the key on. This display's been around for quite a while. It's pretty standardized. Fuel, speed, temp gauge, miles, what gear we're in, 2-wheel drive, the time. It's actually 7:30 in the morning. This little symbol is your clock, just so you guys know. It's not an L, it's the clock, like a big hand, little hand with a time under it. So that's your standard display. It's been around for quite a while. Let's jump over to that new Touring. So one thing you guys are going to notice right away is our shifter is now on the right-hand side of the vehicle. I'm curious when I drive it if my knee is going to hit that. Hopefully we can report on that. Actually, let me just sit on it right. I'm 6'5". If it's going to hit on anybody, it's going to be my leg. Okay, check that out. We got tons of clearance on that thing. And I'm comfortable in the seat. I'm not scooched back. If I was being super aggressive and I was trying to ride hard, no, I mean, it's close. But man, I'm way up on the tank right now. That's not where I'm going to ride. So Shifter is now on the right hand side. Our key is down there in the fender more. This block is pretty similar. Again, we just talked about the handbrake being on this side of the vehicle. Not in love with it. This brake does control all 4 tires, and the foot brake down here on the floor is rear tires only. So rear brake, all 4 up here. This is our light switch. So high beam, low beam, off and on, same exact rocker switch. So in the middle is running, start it, kill it. And then with this display being super fancy, we have these extra buttons on the bottom, which we'll go through. Got our mode button here, winch in and out. This is that awesome new display. And then this is pretty similar, except I noticed right away when this is the first time I driven it, was moving it out here. Look how much closer my hand is on this. So much closer. I think people with smaller hands, or if you just want more control over your ATV, this makes a huge difference. And then this is our 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive button. That's the same exact configuration. Let's turn this display on. I want to do a separate video going over the 800 and 1000 displays later, so I don't really want to go too far into it, but you guys are going to fall in love with this thing. Okay, so I guess maybe I should zoom out real quick first. These are the buttons I'm going to use to control it, and again, in a future video, I'm going to go over that more. I'm going to hit the word enter. We're going to get into the displays here. I am right in the middle of that. I apologize. So this is going to be quick on this one. So I'm going to hit enter one more time. Driving mode. There's normal, work, and sport, which we're going to try all 3 of those here in a minute. We're going to go down to downhill assist control, hit enter again. Of course, this just means when you're going down a hill, engine braking more or less. We can turn it on or off. And I go back. EPS mode, we can change how much it helps. So I would consider just leaving it on auto all the time. Mid, and max. I would just leave it on auto. I think that's the best option. Connection, that's for your phone. Brightness is the brightness of the display. Subject style, this is pretty cool. So let's check this one out. I will go into depth here. So check this out. Like, we can have our display look like that, like that, like that, or that. They have 4 different options. I think for video presentation, that one was the brightest, so I chose that one. And so that's what I'm going to do on the display for now. I don't want to go too in depth on it. I'd like to have a separate video on it. Temp gauge, fuel, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, odometer's got 1 mile on it. RPM's over here, miles per hour. So really excited about this. And then last thing right here in the middle is going to be the USB and the 12 volt. Okay guys, this is going to wrap up the talking portion of the video. We're going to jump into right now riding both of these. I got to do it quick before 9 o'clock rolls around. We get super busy. Hope you found that portion of it helpful. I try really hard with my videos to make sure they're informative, that you're getting value out of them. So just a quick recap. They both have power steering. They both have a winch. Both same size tires, arched A-arms, skid plates on both. Touring comes with the seat, of course. Hand guards. Over here you do get the windshield. Front rear bumpers, fog lights, storage. Oh, B-lock rims. I didn't talk about that. B-lock rims over here. So more of a true like backcountry overland. That's why they call it the overland. Overland vehicle. 10,399 and just under 10,999. Keep in mind, I do think those are going to go on sale. So I'm sure the price is going to get very competitive on those soon. So let's start driving both of these. I think I'm going to start with the Overland first. So let's hop on it. So we're going to hop on this one here and turn the key on. I am in park, so keep in mind if we're in any other gear but park, so let's say reverse for example, the machine would not start unless I'm holding the brake. Watch, I'll grab the brake. I can't. It's on that side. So I'm going to put it back in park because I've only got one hand. One's holding the phone. Starts right up. Let's check out the noisiness of this compared to the other one. A pretty good deep throaty tone to that. It's kind of loud. You can just hear that one just wants to go. And let's just check out the noise before we ride them. I shouldn't say noise, the exhaust tone. Okay, we're in park there. Much quieter. I'm so much quieter. So if I was riding all day long, you better believe I want to be on this one. I don't need all the noise. So much quieter. So, all right, let's hop on this and ride it. Okay, microphone was disconnected. Hopefully it didn't hurt, but I think the microphone doesn't pick up the sound great. So we're in reverse. We're gonna back up out of the situation we're in. So I've driven so many of these that I can control it pretty well. And I've got my hand kind of like grabbing the throttle funny because I know how to do it. Let me go forward real quick. So I've driven these, so I keep saying that, but let's pretend I haven't. Like, we're gonna hop on and we're gonna, like, pretty jumpy, because if you're not used to it, let's go back in reverse. So let's pretend you just bought it, you're backing it off the trailer. Check out my knee in there. My knee is hitting that, and I am in a comfortable position. Like, I'm not scooched forward, so that's different on that one already. I'm already feeling that. So let's pretend that I'm new to this, and I'm just trying to back up. Like right there, I probably left. Look at that right there, brand new tires. See that little burnout mark? I wasn't trying to be overly aggressive with that either. I was trying to truly, like, look how easy I'm. Like, pretty darn jerky. Okay, let's go in high range. I'm sitting neutral. My knee is still kind of tagging that a little bit. Let's just go down the driveway. It's super dusty, so I'm trying to avoid that. Maybe I'll stay off on the grass just a little. So that is high range, and let's go to low. I don't think people use low range enough, or I know they don't, because we get so many machines back in here for belt service. You got to use low range more. It's important to do it. Low range is good for up to 20, and I'll do that. We'll see if we can hit 20 by the time we get to the parking lot there. Gonna be dusty, it's gonna catch us here. Turn that off so I can talk a little bit easier. So I've driven these forever. We've had them for 4 years now. It's been a great seller. Little jerky. That's the standard, like, clutch puck design with the plastic pucks and the weights and the pucks. We've got videos on the channel, we've done videos of the clutch pucks melting, people kind of using the wrong gear at the wrong time. So I understand that model. I understand all the features on it, but let's hop on this new Touring. I honestly have not driven it all the way down the driveway. I drove it from the back of the building this morning. Okay, so already, I'm just telling you, my knee is not hitting that like it was in the Overland. So for us tall guys, that's an improvement. Turn the key on here. We are in park. Again, a little quieter right away. I already noticed that. I enjoy that. Display is massive, but I can still see over it just fine. If I was super short, it's still not bothering you. It's pretty low. Like, you're riding, you're looking up here at those mowers, so not a big deal. It's kind of cool. They arched it down so much. A good bend in the bars here. Okay, we're gonna try reverse first. This thing is so buttery. CFMoto's new clutch design, they copied the Polaris clutches in this thing. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's your standard clutch with weights like we were used to. So much easier takeoff. So I don't know if you can see this. Like, I'm just barely, like, so much easier to control because it's closer, right? But, like, I can creep this thing away. Like, if I want to go 0.00 miles an hour, look at this thing. You know how cool that is? You know how much safer it's going to be, like, when I'm trying to explain to people when they buy it, like, to drive it home. Same with reverse. Check this out. And, like, as I give it more, it's not aggressively. I think that's the biggest thing, is as I give it more, it's not just ramping up and taking off. Like, you have a pretty good range from like 0.01 to 4 mile an hour. Like, that's what people need in reverse. They need, like, that comfort of acceleration, not all of it all at once. So okay, we're running again, and let's go for a ride down the side of the driveway there. We're gonna ride this one a little bit longer. Hopefully the audio is okay on the phone. All right, we're gonna take off in normal here. I'm not gonna punch it because they're brand new. Very comfortable, very easy to drive. A little bumpy, but I think suspension's got to break in, of course. Let's turn this thing around. And if I hit mode, does that change it as well? Yeah, now we're in work mode. We're in work mode now. We're gonna go down here and see if I notice much of a difference. I think I'd be in work mode all the time. That was super enjoyable. Like, that was easy to ride. That's the whole plan here. All right, let's try sport mode. This thing is so quiet, by the way. Sport mode. Let's see, we're in high range. Oh, geez, holy smoke, okay. I honestly have never driven this thing. That's okay, I'm holding on better now. I apologize, my gimbal's having a heck of a time. Okay, huge difference. Sport mode is gnarly. That thing is rips. You know you're on 1,000. That is so wild. Let's go back to normal. I like work mode the best, I think. Yeah, that's easy to drive right there. Okay, work mode is super. There's huge differences between these. You notice right away. You instantly notice when you go to sport mode. It almost took me off the back of the bike here. That's awesome. I'm glad there's some differences there. Let's look and see. Is there anything else I really want to talk about in this display before my gimbal fails the rest of the way? Let's see. Let's try EPS modes. I'm interested on that. So let's go min, enter. We're gonna select that. We're gonna back out of this display here. Okay, so now we're in min only. It's not gonna change, so foot brake. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a little more tuggy, maybe. Yeah, like right there, like that final little like third of a bar push, it gets harder, maybe. And let's go enter. My gimbal is over it. EPS mode, enter, max. We're gonna go one to the other. Gonna back all the way out of this. I don't notice much sitting here. Yeah, I'm in sport mode. I don't want to be in sport. I want to be in normal. Oh yeah, that's different. Holy smokes. Okay. Huge difference. Like that final, like I can't do it with one finger, so I gotta throttle it too. But look at that. One finger when you're in full max. But this is not something that I would change. I don't know why you'd ever go off of just like the standard auto. I don't need the extra work. Let's just make it simple. So okay, let's head back down to the dealership here. All right guys, this is Jared from 3C's Recreation. Just wrapped up our first ever video on the new CForce 1000 Touring. I am so impressed with it. Please stay tuned on our channel. Consider subscribing. We're gonna do a ton of stuff. I'm gonna start doing more maintenance videos on the CFMotos on our channel, like oil change stuff and just overall tech stuff. We've always done beta. If you scroll down, I'm a huge beta nerd, dirt bike world. I do a ton of beta stuff all the way around. I'm gonna do more of that with the CFMoto stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the ride and we'll see you on the trail.